Today, I want to share a little bit of my story with you so that you can get a better idea of why I'm so passionate about what I do, which is helping others. Ultimately, I had to do this work to save myself from myself. And what I found is that when you free yourself from the wounds of your past, it transforms you. It transforms you into the most powerful, confident, joyful, loving version of yourself. And I want to share my story with you so that you can have a better understanding of where all this comes from and how all of these different pieces of the puzzle fit together. Because it is very complicated, it is messy, and it took me a long time to truly understand how to heal and let go of my past. These wounds, these disempowering limiting beliefs, and the shame that comes with it come from our very painful past, and we unknowingly and unwittingly carry these wounds from relationship to relationship. I was reliving my painful past over and over again in all of my relationships, on every date and in every social interaction. And to better understand this, we need to peel back the layers of the onion. We need to go back to our relationships with our primary caregivers. I want you to know that I'm not blaming anyone here. I really do love my dad, even after everything he has put me through. So in a way, this is really hard for me because I know that my dad loves me and I know that he did the best that he could. In fact, when I spoke to my dad about this, he said it was tough love because he wanted me to be strong. Unfortunately, it didn't turn out that way. He unwittingly damaged me, and that damage, the shame that I felt, showed up in every single relationship of my life, and it caused me and my relationship partners so much pain and so much confusion. So this work is very personal for me, and I know if I hadn't done this work, I would not have the amazing life that I have now. I would not have the amazing wife and family that I have now. And the real truth is that before I dealt with my demons, I never realized how damaged I was. These concepts that I want to share with you, no one had ever explained this to me. This is not something we're taught in school. And I did not know then what I know now, that if we are still carrying the same bricks from our past relationships, we only end up building the same house, and that there are some wounds that time just won't heal. We do not experience things in life as they are. We experience life as we are. Life and our relationships are a mirror for us. If our relationship with our primary caregiver was chaotic, or we did not receive the love or the support or the validation that we needed as children, that unmet need follows us, and we bring that unhealthy relationship dynamic with us from relationship to relationship. You see, my father was quite verbally and physically abusive. And because of that, I felt a lot of shame growing up. And he made me feel very small, so small and full of shame that often I would not show up for myself. I was very quiet. You wouldn't recognize me from then and now. As a teenager, I was very quiet. I didn't say boo. I grew up thinking and believing that I wasn't enough and that what I had to say had no place. And it was all from this little voice that was deep down inside of me that I thought I was not good enough. And from this voice, from this belief, I would subconsciously pick relationship partners who confirmed this belief about myself, that I was not good enough. And over time, the belief would reaffirm itself, and I would experience even more shame in relationships. My father was also quite critical, and from this, in every moment, every relationship, every social interaction, I found myself judging myself against others. Everyone, especially strong males, ended up being more than me, further reaffirming my belief that I was not enough. As a consequence, I found it really hard to have close relationships with other males. Because of this belief that I was not good enough, I would often overcompensate in relationships by trying too hard, by trying to prove that I was worthy and good enough. And that's how I became a people pleaser. I remember old girlfriends telling me that I was trying too hard, and through this dynamic, I would experience even more shame. And on top of all of that, I also had this intense fear of abandonment. Can you imagine self-sabotaging relationships through my people-pleasing behavior and also having an intense fear of abandonment? It was chaos because both fears feed into each other. They make it worse. I became needy and messy, and needy and messy is not an attractive quality in a person. When I was 5, my mom dropped me off for my first day of school. And for her, it was a normal day. She's just doing what all moms do. And in my mind, in that moment, I felt abandoned. I don't know why. I was only 5 years old. I can't even remember the circumstances around it. I can only remember the event and how I felt. I can still remember that day, sitting there screaming in pain, and all of the kids in my class staring at me like, what the heck is wrong with that kid? In that moment, I felt even more shame. Shame, people-pleasing, disempowering limiting beliefs, these unhealthy relationship patterns and behaviors followed me from relationship to relationship. They became part of who I was being, and they ruined every relationship, every good relationship. You know, I was a good person, but I was so full of pain and shame, and I had been hurt one too many times. Worst became worst until finally one day it happened. One too many times, one too many breakups, one too many failed relationships. I was 46 years old. And if you want the complete story about the relationship breakup that broke me, I'll leave a link in the description for my video, Broken People Break People. If you have the time, it is some of my best work, and it has some amazing insights into why we date and ultimately marry the people that we do, and how they are a mirror for us, and the pain that is inside of us, and the wounds inside of us that need to be healed. After that breakup, the loneliness that I felt turned to despair, which turned into a deep depression that lasted for 3 full years. I was trapped in a sea of misery, lost in the deepest sorrow of my soul, unable to see any hope or light in my future, and I completely broke down. And when I say completely broke down, you would not believe how bad it was. There were some days where I would just curl up in a little ball and I would cry up into the ceiling, God, why is this happening to me? I use the term broken. Not a lot of people like that word. I'm comfortable with my labels. It's fine. And I was convinced that I would never find true love again, never have a family, that I would be poor for the rest of my life, and that I would be lonely forever, as who would ever want anyone as broken and messy as me? And I want you to know that during that 3 years, I tried everything. I mean, everything. Weekly support groups, spiritual retreats, journaling, free guides off the internet, healing meditations, workbooks, reading, hypnosis. I tried hypnosis, therapy, counseling, EFT, trying to find answers and a cure. The pain was unbearable. Day-to-day life was a struggle of anxiety, depression, deep, deep despair, and it was the worst time of my life. But looking back, it was also a gift. Without those dark days, I would have never gone to school to learn how to become a counselor and learn how to heal and let go of those painful wounds from my past. You know, it's ironic that out of the 24 classmates I had, 20 of them were women. Women just seem more open to doing this work, but I also believe that they have a lot of healing to do because of the pain that is carried by men. We are in relationship what one feels and experiences, the other one feels and experiences. And this is passed on from generation to generation. What our parents model for us, what they teach us, we become. And I want to share with you what I did to heal and let go of my painful past so that you can learn what I did, which is we can't run from our past. As much as we want to, we cannot run away from it. And I want to give you the tools and the concepts to help you heal and let go of those wounds. Whether you want to dramatically improve the quality of your relationships with others, if you want to find purpose in your life, if you would like to better define your boundaries with others, if you would like to smash through your disempowering limiting beliefs, if you're having problems in your relationship and you want to save it, or you want to save yourself, if you want to heal and let go of unhealthy relationship patterns or behaviors, if you're lonely and you're longing for a life partner, or if you're going through a breakup, separation, or a divorce, I want you to come join me Friday, September the 18th at 7 p.m. PST for a free Facebook Live. I only wish that I'd learned about these tools and these concepts in my early 20s or even as a teenager. I would have saved myself so much pain and so much heartache. About a year ago, I had a very good friend of mine call me and say, Kevin, my boyfriend and I just broke up. They had had a 3-year relationship, and she was absolutely devastated. She was crying every single day. You know what it's like. These breakups break us in a way that's just devastating. We put so much into these relationships, so much hope, and we're attached. And when we experience breakup, it creates a lot of pain for us. So she called me and she goes, Kevin, I remember when you went through your breakup, and I remember when you went through your depression, and that you actually healed yourself. And I am in so much pain and I need your help. So I worked with her, and I had developed my own program. And I worked with her. 2 months later, she's through it. She's happy. She's thriving. She's smiling. She's looking forward to life again. 2 months, which is pretty fast. And she said, Kevin, I have a friend who's going through a breakup. And every day she's absolutely miserable, and she's crying, and she misses him. And, she's full of asking her the questions, what could I have done differently? I love him. If he'd just give me one more chance. And they had been in a relationship for 11 years. So I worked with her. 2 months later, she's gotten through it. She's thriving. She's happy. She's smiling. And she goes, Kevin, I have 2 friends. So, as you know, we have a problem in our society. 50% of our marriages end in divorce. It's 2020, and there's literally thousands of self-help books and relationship books on Amazon and YouTube. Something's wrong. So I kept helping these people, and it kept growing and growing and growing. And when we were done, she said, Kevin, you not only saved my life, but you gave me a life, the life that I've always wanted. And you can go to my website to see the testimonials from my clients. It's through this work that it actually transforms your life. And I discovered with my experiences with my clients and with myself that when you heal and let go of your disempowering limiting beliefs, when you heal those painful wounds from your past, your unhealthy relationship and dating patterns, you will change your life. You will transform the relationship that you have with yourself. You will transform how you experience other people in relationship and how they experience you. You will find your triggers will be healed. And when your triggers are healed, you will find that your relationships will become easier. You will become much more grounded in who you are being. You will become more capable of weathering any storm that life throws at you. You will embrace and live life as a new you, powerful, confident, joyful, and more loving. It really is an inside-out transformational shift, a transformation into the very best version of yourself. So let's you and I have an honest and a very powerful conversation about your life and what it looks like right now, what bricks you've been carrying from relationship to relationship, what your blocks are and your limiting beliefs, and how you've been experiencing others and how they've been experiencing you. So consider this as an invitation to my Facebook Live, which is Friday, September the 18th at 7 p.m. PST. And I'll put the link in this post, and let me help you build a new house with new bricks so that you can start living your life as the most powerful, confident, joyful, loving version of yourself.